What's up, guys? This is Lucas, also known as NJMA Goats, and I'm here with.
I'm Willboy.
I'm Jay Garcia, aka
I'm Calvin.
I'm
Ethan.
And today we're going to be discussing the Giants versus Vikings game, and later on the Giants versus Colorado versus Nebraska game. But let's go and start off with the first question. Overall thoughts on the Giants? I mean, I think we can pretty much say the Giants did not play well overall. Offensively, they didn't play well. Defensively, they didn't play well. Even special teams didn't play that well.
Well, our special
Except for that one play.
Yeah, there was one play where special teams did well, but there was an almost fumble that was, I think, picked up by the Giants. But there's definitely a lot that needs to be cleaned up.
Our Brian Burns and Kayvon were nowhere to be seen the whole game.
Yeah.
Dexter Lawrence played good.
Yeah.
I didn't hear Brian Burns or Kayvon Thibodeau's name called once. The only guy out there that really made a big impact on defense was Dexter Lawrence. Even Tay Banks wasn't really out there.
Drew Phillips.
Yeah. Musau, the rookie, he had that interception.
Very athletic.
So kudos to him.
Who was our second round pick from Minnesota? What's his name?
Tyler Nubin. Where was he?
Yeah.
He was out there.
Yeah.
Also, I think Xavier McKinney was a big loss, and he was a big part of our secondary, and we lost him.
Did we even offer McKinney at all?
I don't think we did. He just left. He went to the Packers.
I'm rooting for him though.
Me too.
At least he didn't make a promise saying how he wanted to be a Giant for life, and at least he didn't go to a damn rival team.
Yep. I would still like Saquon if he went to Houston or something.
If Saquon went to the Packers, I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
if Eagles
Saquon went. There were rumors when Saquon was testing free agency that he was going to go to the Texans.
Yeah.
If he went there,
I wouldn't be.
If he went there, I would be completely fine with it.
There are some people saying Broncos, but I'm like, if you want to throw your career more out the window, go to the Broncos.
Well, great news for all of us. We get to watch Giants Panthers in like a few weeks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Panthers. I was watching the game. It was like 14-3 at the time. And I checked the score. It was 30-3 for the Panthers, and I was like, "Good thing we're not Panthers fans."
Yeah.
Yes, I'm grateful.
I mean, Panthers are dog shit.
The Giants were going into their 70th year of being an NFL team when the Panthers were named an NFL team.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Texans are a new team as well, but I think Stroud is gonna win MVP. Hot take.
Yeah, that's a pretty good take.
I thought it was gonna be Joe Burrow, but
Burrow was probably gonna win Comeback Player of the Year if they
Aaron Rodgers has to do is step on the field and throw for a touchdown, and he gets Comeback Player of the Year.
Okay, yeah.
100%.
Honestly, we could probably start like 0-. Well, if we do not beat Washington, we could start 0-7 or something like that. I wouldn't believe that, but maybe.
Yeah, there was like a lot that could have been fixed today.
For sure.
And the fact that they started off their 100th season like
no
this.
Touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
No touchdowns, 2 field goals, like an interception. Well, an interception return for a touchdown.
Yeah, I turned it off there.
I feel bad for people going to the game.
Yeah, me too. My friend went to the game, left at the third quarter.
I everybody on TikTok knows who Sneaky G-Man is. He lives in Dallas. I know that because he said that on like every platform. And he went all the way from Dallas to East Rutherford for this game because he's a diehard Giants fan and he's a season ticket holder. And he was pissed.
I would be too.
It just sucks being a fan from a different state. I have no one to ever talk to about these damn games.
It's just that we have won a Super Bowl every decade, and if this is going to be the decade we don't win a Super Bowl, then that's sad.
Yeah.
If we are able to get some good competent players and some good guys on defense, offense, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We will be able to make the Super Bowl. Probably not in the next 5 years, but maybe
2028.
6, 7, 8, 9. Maybe it'll probably have to be another 10 years.
For sure.
For sure.
I don't want to start focusing on next season yet, though. It's one game. I mean, it's going to get better, in my opinion.
It will.
It will. It should get better.
I mean, I don't know.
Doesn't help when
I am concerned about Dable and his play calling ability right now.
Yeah.
He says there's a ton of problems we have to fix, and
it doesn't help when our best offensive player is a rookie.
Yeah, that's true. But Malik has a lot of potential, and I mean he definitely can do some good things, even if he's our wide receiver one.
Yeah.
Like we saw, the best play call that they had today was maybe a 20-yard gain for Malik Neighbors.
That was a really good catch.
That was the two tight end play. Two tight ends were on the each side of the field. That was probably their best play, even though they didn't even score on that drive. And everyone started saying leak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun to hear.
Yep, I thought.
Yeah.
I thought when we stopped him on the goal line, and I thought before they scored the touchdown with Jones, and we stopped him and put it to fourth down. I thought we were gonna get. I thought we were gonna get the stop, but our defense sucked. They did a run too on fourth and goal, and we still couldn't stop it.
Yeah.
On the one, and it was a stretch where everybody was, and he couldn't tackle. He outran him.
There was a play where Singletary caught a screen pass and got a first down, and he could have gone all the way, but he got his legs tripped up.
Well, at least Jefferson's touchdown, that was decent D by Banks.
Yeah, there's really nothing you could have done there.
I mean, Jefferson made an.
Malik Neighbors had more yards than him today, so.
Yeah,
he had only 4 receptions, 60 yards for Jefferson. I mean, at least we played decent against him.
Yeah. And while we're talking about all these plays, let's go to the next question. We kind of already talked about it, but are you concerned with Brian Dable's play calling?
Yes.
Also, do you think it really is Brian Dable calling the plays, or do you think it is still Mike Kafka?
To be honest, that looked like Mike Kafka.
That looked exactly like last year.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was an exact replica of last year.
There were no deep shots. And
None. Exactly.
None.
One pass over.
I don't know
even
how.
attempt.
They were scared. They went for it once on fourth down.
They were scared to throw the football.
What happened to the aggressive Brian Dable?
Yeah.
The aggressive Brian Dable is why we won games in 2020.
One or two things.
2 years
Either
ago
Dale Jones-
against the Vikings, we were slinging the ball all game. we are playing against the Vikings defense that is not too much improved. It's got better for sure, but
Well, I think it's mostly because Dable knew that Brian Flores was going to be aggressive on defense. But either way, call some deep shots, man. Come on.
Yeah.
You have weapons. Malik
have
Neighbors could have
Jalen
gotten
Hyatt.
one easily.
John
Easily.
Hyatt is a
Same thing with
deep
Slayton.
threat.
Hyatt, too.
I mean, we're wasting all of these. I mean, Wendell has amazing potential. We need to use him.
And I'm really confused because
Hyatt has amazing potential. We just cannot waste that.
He dropped the
You
ball.
can't draft Hyatt, who is a deep ball threat, who had like 5 touchdowns against Alabama,
he
and literally
dropped the ball
almost
for
all
20
of them,
yards today.
really all of them were deep shots. And you can't draft him and just give him slant routes entirely.
Yeah, exactly. Like
You can't
it's
draft,
like wasted talent.
I mean,
or
we
you can't
we
draft
tried to
him
I mean,
and
we
not
have
throw him
some
the
very
ball at all.
speedy
he tried to throw
wide
it deep
receiver.
and he dropped it. He dropped the ball. And
Yeah, I
also,
don't know why he dropped that. Like you gotta throw deep to him. Like he's fast. He's probably he's if not the fastest player on our team.
For sure.
Like you gotta throw it to him deep.
Yeah, I
You
don't know.
have Malik Neighbors who ran a 4.35. You're like, how are you not throwing him the rock?
Mhm.
You have Jalen Hyatt who ran 24 miles per hour in training camp 2 years ago. You're not gonna throw him the rock deep, like, and you guys are just gonna like give him 10-yard digs. Like, no, that's not what you use him for. That's what you use Slayton and Wandale for.
And Theo Johnson is a great tight end. We just used him. Bellinger is, I mean, he's pretty good.
and
We
also,
saw it against the Rams last year. If we had used a deep ball, even that exact same play against the Rams, where Slayton took it like 70 yards for the touchdown, we probably would have done the exact same thing. It wouldn't matter what time of game it was, whether it was the end of the first half, the start of the second half, whatever. Like, just throw the deep ball to Slayton. That's kind of what he does right now. And he didn't get the ball. I don't think he got the ball once.
Well, think about it.
Did he even get targeted?
Yeah, I remember he had at least one catch.
Well, think about 2-3 years ago, we were actually thinking about keeping Joe Judge. That would have been the worst move in our franchise history.
I'm curious what happened from how he was playing in 2022. Like, what's different from?
We're so much less aggressive. We're scared. We're
Exactly. You're exactly right. We were
like, I don't know why why is that changing?
I don't know why. Like, we were so aggressive in 2022. Anytime it was less than 4th and 3, if it was 4th and 3, 2022, we would have gone for it. Anything less than that, we would have gone for it. And now all we do is punt. It's punt, field goal, punt, field goal.
Yeah, it was like every drive where it would just be like a check down or a run for just 2 plays, and we wouldn't be able to get a first down. It would be like it's like an instant third down every drive. It's like 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 8.
And if we're fucking starting at their 20-yard line to start off a damn drive and kicking a fucking field goal out of that.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Our red zone offense was bad last year, I know.
Our red zone offense in 2022 was good.
Yeah, it was good.
We need to do everything we can to bring back that 2022 offense.
And that game against the Cardinals last year. We
Yeah.
need to bring back where we are just playing aggressive, throwing the deep ball.
That game against the Cardinals is the 2022 Giants that we saw.
For sure.
I think
We need that all year long this year. We need
agreed. But
aggressive play calling, good deep shots,
agreed. But what happened?
Hyatt, Neighbors, and Slayton, all three of them get involved all game.
What's happening with Daniel Jones? We brought in Mike Kafka, the Chiefs quarterback coach.
Well, that was 2-3 years ago, but yeah.
Yeah, but still, he hasn't been good since. I mean, he hasn't been elite.
Well, Jason Garrett was a fucking clown.
Yeah.
Yes, and
oh my god, yeah, I forgot we even
Brian Dable, two of the guys that developed great quarterbacks. So something's wrong.
Garrett was not good. Kafka, you could make an argument that Garrett was better than Kafka, right? Right now, you could definitely make an argument that Dable was better than Kafka. Or what am I saying? That Garrett was better than Kafka.
Yeah.
Well,
the defense, I mean, our new defensive coordinator, Shane
Bowen. Today, Bowen looked like he had no idea what play calls he was calling. And no offense to the defense, I know they played hard, and that's exactly what we want. But if you allow 28 points in a game, most likely...
Well, 21, because the Jones...
21 points, yeah. If you allow 21 points in a game... Okay, I guess now it makes more sense, but I think Shane Bowen, like, he fits pretty good with the system. I think when I originally thought it was 28 points, I was going to say something different, but now that it was 21 points, it's kind of crazy that we can't score enough points to either tie that or come close to that. If a team is playing against you and they score 21 points on you, you need to be able to score more. It doesn't matter what team you are. It doesn't matter what team you're playing. That if you're allowing 21 points, come on. And I know there was that one pick six, which made it 28, but still.
Yeah.
You got to make it close. This had the potential to be like 28 to 21, 28, 24, but instead we weren't aggressive and took too many field goals.
And what else? I know he helped the Titans have the number one rush defense last year. Our rush defense today was awful. Was it good? Aaron Jones had what?
I think 2 touchdowns. No.
That's the one thing we sucked at last year. Our rush defense was god-awful. Aaron Jones had 14 carries, 94 yards.
Yeah.
He was letting up an average of around 70-something rushing yards a game last year. In his first game, this is what happens.
Yep.
Let's get to the next question.
Yeah.
Well, we've kind of already talked about it a little bit, but like...
Yeah, we need to preview this game.
I mean, what do we need to fix to beat the Commanders? I think defense, we got to get Burns available as much as possible. Kayvon, too.
Attack Jaden.
I think Banks and Adoree Jackson need to play a big factor because knowing the Commanders, they're gonna make Jaden Daniels take shots. Dan Quinn, I think he's more of a passing guy than a guy. I mean, the last time he was the head coach of a team, he was the head coach of the Falcons, yeah. And he led the Falcons to a Super Bowl. I get it. They lost. They lost that game 34-28. But when you go back to that game, they threw the ball a lot. I guess it was kind of a mix, but they had Julio.
Yep.
The Commanders now, they don't really have a star receiver, so I don't.
McLaurin wasn't.
No, they got McLaurin. They got McLaurin.
Okay,
He was-
McLaurin. McLaurin is gonna be Dan Quinn's Julio Jones then, because like they're gonna take deep shots with him. They're gonna make some fancy routes with him, and I think Dable needs to realize that.
They used
Yeah, well-
Dustin Eckler a lot in the receiving game today. But just last year in the second game, how aggressive were we on offense? We put
Very
up
aggressive.
24 and that
And
pick.
a half.
Against not the Commanders, the
Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Or no, the Commanders. I'm talking about that game. The second time.
Again,
Yeah.
when we played, which one? Week like
The one in November.
Yeah.
week like 13 or whatever.
Yeah, somewhere around that.
We beat them like 30-16. But
Was
that
that the-
was
was that the-
that
was
was
that
a
the game Tony
Ron
Vito played?
Rivera led team that had he had no control over that locker room at
He
that
was
point.
a god awful coach.
No, not really. He led the Panthers to the Super Bowl.
Well, yes, he was a good coach for them, but for Washington, he was awful.
For Washington, yeah, he was not great. I think he's more of like a traditional coach or whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
But I think for what they need to fix to beat Washington, we talked about defense. For offense, they need to block better. I mean, that's the main priority. Offensive line, please block better.
Exactly.
I have a lot of hope for our line, bringing in John Runyon Jr. He is a decent lineman. We got one of the best O-line coaches in the league.
Yep.
From the Raiders, and we brought in that guy from Cincy or Vegas.
Vegas.
Illuminor?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
he moved from
John
Vegas.
Mitchell Schultz made improvements in the offseason, I heard. I mean, we should be able to block a lot better.
Yeah. After today, today was disgraceful with the offensive line. We allowed how many sacks? Like five.
Yeah. Well, some of them were just like Daniel Jones. And
Yeah,
his lack of awareness.
Daniel
would
Jones
blame-
cannot escape.
I would blame part of it on Daniel Jones, part of it on the O-line. But I think Jones needs to realize that his O-line is better, and he needs to he just needs to throw the ball away when he is under pressure, which he did a couple times. But when he's really under pressure, just chuck it down so you don't get like a sack.
Or just like roll out of the pocket and find someone downfield.
Exactly.
And the couple of times that he did do that, he looked scared to take a shot or scared to find a target, and he would either try to run for it, and he would only get like a yard or two, or he would just end up throwing it away.
That Dallas.
That's not the Daniel Jones that we saw in 2022.
Yeah, the 2022 Daniel Jones and the 2023 and 2024 Daniel Jones they're completely different Jones.
Yeah. Like, there's really no excuses either, because in the 2022 season, we had like half the talent that we have now. Like our team is so much better, and we have so much more potential now than we did last year. Yet we still like haven't improved, or Daniel Jones still like he's not producing like he was back then. Like there really shouldn't be any excuses. We just have to make game plan changes, and we have to get him to like realize that like trust your receivers. I mean, at least like Slayton and Hyatt and Neighbors are all deep threats. They're all great on like jump balls, and they've proven it, especially Neighbors, because in the Lions scrimmage, he caught like 17 out of the 18 balls that went to him. Like that just proves that like you can trust your receivers. You can throw one-on-one balls, and even if they don't catch it, you can draw like a pass interference. Like we just can't be scared to take shots like that.
Yeah. And like just throw the ball downfield. I
Yes.
don't know how they won't do that.
Yeah.
Even Dable said in the press conference after the game, like, we're gonna learn from our mistakes and improve and fix the mistakes, stuff like that, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And
Hopefully.
do it.
Yeah.
You
Exactly.
know?
And that Andrew Van Giegel and Gecko, I don't know. That was the worst fucking throw. That was such a bad decision right there.
Yeah. We had already run that same exact play at least 3 or 4 times before that too, and it just hadn't been working. And like I didn't understand why we kept running that like
Screen.
screen toss to Singletary. Like if Daniel Jones wasn't even like getting the ball to him, he was like struggling to make that throw. And then once he did get it there, it was either like too late or there wasn't any blocking downfield. But I wasn't understanding why we kept running that. And then we ran like a couple QB draws and like run plays for Daniel Jones.
Yep.
To try to get some third downs, and like no, it just wasn't working, and we just kept doing it, and I didn't understand like why we kept running those plays if they weren't working, which needs to change.
Yeah.
Let's get to next question.
All right, hold on 1 second. Oops.
But last thing, I do think we will beat Washington, though.
Yeah, I think we will too.
As long as we like watch Jaden Daniels, like if we
just-
have if we have good quarterback spies, because if our D line plays well, they'll get pressure on Jaden Daniels, and he'll be forced to like try to run and escape the pocket. So we have to make sure that we can't let him run all over our defense.
we need to
We have
attack
to get
him.
on him. Yeah, exactly. We have to we need spies, and we need to limit his scrambling, because he did a lot of that in the Bucks game. He ran for a touchdown and he had a ton of rushing yards, so we have to be aware of that.
Yep.
Especially if we're forcing him to run out of the pocket.
Yep. And Washington's defense is god awful.
Mm-hmm.
If we do not fucking take deep shots against the dog shit Washington defense, then
Yeah, especially like their secondary, they're not going to be able to like cover neighbors and all the receivers that we have. Like their depth as far as like corners and safeties is pretty weak. So we should be able to throw deep.
But next question.
I'm on the next question.
What was our biggest weakness today?
Passing game.
Passing.
Mm-hmm.
It was either that or the secondary.
Yeah,
But it's definitely passing.
I would say passing. Either that or
longest
either
pass
that.
was 25 yards and no
Mhm.
passing touchdowns.
And letting Sam Darnold start 12 for 12.
Yeah, either that
That
or
is a fucking disgrace to let Sam Darnold, a dog shit quarterback.
Oh,
yeah.
Jay Garcia is here. I just noticed that in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, let him in.
1 second. Yeah. Oh well.
So yeah, our biggest weakness was today was definitely the passing game and like taking shots. We had no balls today, apparently.
Yeah, we
There
don't
was no
have
difference with the play calling. It literally, if you told me that was Mike Kafka calling the plays, I would believe you.
we don't have the balls to do anything right now.
Yeah.
We don't
We're
have
too
the ball.
conservative.
We don't have the
Also-
balls to throw it deep. We don't have the balls to go for it. We don't have the balls to get a sack. We don't have the balls to get an interception. I
Post
could
all
go
that
on.
shit about going deep in training camp, and yet I didn't see any of it.
Yeah,
Do all those back shot, like the amount of times we were in the red zone and I thought we were going to throw a back shoulder to Jalen Hyatt or Malik Neighbors, I was wrong because it didn't happen. I was like, oh, he's in position to do a back shoulder. I'm like, he didn't even do it. He didn't even look his way. Daniel Jones, like, he does not do pre-snap adjustments. He just sticks with the play he's doing, and then it leads up into a pick six, like today. And like, he just looks at his first read. He does not look. He does not take any chances on his other reads. He always looks at the first read, and if it's not open, he runs.
Yeah, that's
like
what led to the pick six.
Like I said earlier, like he's like not used to having. Well, I didn't really say this earlier, but he is not used to having a good offensive line. And I know the offensive line today played atrocious, but if they are going to play better, let's say they play better next week and he still does the same stuff that he did today, it's going to show that he's like regressing, because like any quarterback out there in the NFL, even in college, quarterbacks do this. High school quarterbacks do this. They know that their O-line is good. He looks like he doesn't trust his O-line. He looks like he doesn't trust his team out there.
Mm-hmm.
How do you have the most important role on the team and you don't have the balls to trust anybody? You don't have the balls to throw it downfield. And I know that may have not been his fault, but
now look, it's a complete different story today. If we take a good amount of deep shots, our offense plays a good amount more aggressive, we would not be talking about a good amount of this. But
sadly, I do feel bad for Jones. There was a video on Instagram that I don't know if it's viral, but there's a Giants fan that went to the game, and when Jones was leaving and went down the big blue carpet, they were kind of trashing him and like booing him. And I understand you can be upset with a player.
Yeah,
and you can be upset with a player and all of that, but while he's leaving a game, he's clearly upset. You can tell in the video.
Yeah.
While he's leaving the game, you can't do that. There's more to Daniel Jones or any quarterback in the NFL outside of football. Treat him with respect. I don't care if you love him or hate him. Treat him with respect. And that goes for any player or anybody in general, really.
And especially if it's a fan, if you are a fan of that team.
They acted like Eagles fans.
Yeah. If another fan of a team is trashing Daniel, okay, does not matter. But if our own fans you can't be trashing your own player for. Yeah.
Yeah, like I understand like the boos from the fans, just because they have the right to be annoyed that we just didn't score a touchdown, or when Daniel Jones throws a pick, but just like insulting him and yelling in his ear after he's leaving the game, like there's no purpose to that. Like that's only going to make him play worse.
Like I get that argument, but like at the same time, it's 6 years of pure misery and him doing the same shit. So it's like, wake up or you lose your job.
Yeah, I agree with you, but we also haven't put him in the best position. He's been in a terrible position his entire career, and he's been injured a ton. I mean, I know he's not a good quarterback, but like, there's like some slack that has to be given.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I understand why it would happen, because it is 6 years of like kind of pure misery or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Well, think about it. In his 2019 season, he did not play.
But hold on.
He did not play awful.
Yeah, but exactly same thing with 2022. And like I said earlier, there's a right place to do something like that and a wrong place. Yep. Like, boo him or whatever if you want, like in the game, not after while he's leaving, trying to just figure out like what he did wrong and all that, and he was clearly upset, and that
Yeah,
was
like
that was just
that's
wrong.
just taking it too far. That's just taking it too far. You have the right to be angry, but just
That really
there's no
just
need for
fucking
that.
sucks to see that
Yeah.
our own fans are just.
Don't act like Eagles fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eagles fans are some of the worst fans in the NFL.
They
Yeah,
are the worst fans.
they're
Ever.
terrible
are-
people.
They are the worst fans in the
They are terrible people. Phillies fan.
They win a Super Bowl and they trash their whole city. They flip over cars.
And after the Phillies won the pennant in 22, they do not know how to just actually be a little mature at times at all. I saw some Philly
in the
fans
morning,
were making fun of Jordan Love after he got injured. I saw some, and
Yeah.
that's just
Yeah,
It's
and
terrible.
in the morning I listen to a Boomer and Geo podcast. A guy named Geo, he's a big fan of Cowboys, and he takes his son to a game, and they were screaming rude stuff like "I hope you die, you're playing home."
Like it's
did
just
that really happen?
Yes, they said it to a girl. She said it on a podcast.
wow. Like it's so crazy.
Can you let my friend in? His name is Jack. He's backstage.
Yeah.
If I may ask, the like ranking for like bad fans, it's the Eagles at number 1,
For sure.
Cowboys at number 2, and I don't know. I honestly don't know what's at number 3.
Let's see.
Patriots.
Patriots.
Cowboys. Wait, you mentioned them, right?
Yeah, Cowboys at number 2.
Eagles, Cowboys, Patriots.
Who else?
Yeah, did it? No, Dolphins fan also punched a Patriots fan.
Oh my god.
Dolphins. No, I wouldn't say
And
that.
after 30 years of getting owned by them, just gotta let it out.
It doesn't matter. It's a game.
The AFC North has some bad fans for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Steelers.
Oh, and Chiefs fans, obviously.
Yeah, I was gonna say Chiefs fans.
To be honest, though, they've just started doing good, and they're just taking it in.
Who?
Yeah.
Like the Chiefs fans.
Oh,
like
yeah.
if we just started winning 3 Super Bowls like in the span of 3 years, I would be doing the same shit they would be doing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just the stuff with the Taylor Swift stuff. That is the
Yeah.
most.
It would be boring to be a Chiefs fan because you just see your team. If they win it'd be boring to see the Chiefs win next 2 years. Even as a Chiefs fan, I'd want to see some competition.
Yeah.
As a Giants fan, there's no competition because like today we didn't put up a fight. We like what we've been talking about.
You look
no
lazy.
defense.
Our offense look lazy.
Terrible.
Yeah, we definitely need more effort.
And Daniel Jones say back in 2019, that game against the Buccaneers. I remember that game. He looked really aggressive. That was his first career start.
I watched the whole game.
Yeah, I watched that game
That was
too.
that was his fucking first career start, and he played really good.
Yeah. He came
I
back.
also
Well, in the
think
second half, he did.
the play calls today were also very terrible. All the
Yeah.
passes were short.
Exactly.
Nothing could go right. Also the secondary is terrible.
Yeah, it was pretty atrocious.
Yeah, we can't act like Sam Darnold didn't play well.
Sam
But
Darnold.
like at the same,
Sam
time,
Darnold
like
did-
there were just so many holes on it. and
honestly,
Give Sam Darnold credit, bro.
I stopped
Yeah.
watching for a quarter, and I go back and I hear, I see a Vikings incompletion. And it goes the first incompletion for Sam Darnold. I'm like,
I know,
what?
like-
There's no way.
so crazy.
Yeah, it is.
and I feel like
Yeah.
after Daniel Jones, he's like not even thinking of passing. He's just thinking of running. He has like no vision of the field.
Yeah, he only looks at his first read and doesn't look at anything else.
Yeah.
And then he tries to step up. He gets sacked. We lose 2 yards. And
Yeah, he would just force a check down that wouldn't be open at all, just because that was his first read, or that was like the main target for that play. Like he doesn't improvise or look at any of the other reads. He just sort of assumes that route will be open or that this player will be open, and he just forces it, and it's either batted down or picked off, and that's what led to the pick six. He didn't even check if Singletary was open or not, or if there's a linebacker waiting to jump that route, which there was. He just threw it anyway, and then what do you know? Van Ginkel jumps it. It's a pick six. Like he's not aware like that.
Yeah.
It's a sort of like a robot. You just sort of he
Also, I
runs
have
the
something.
play. He's
I
supposed
also
to, and he doesn't improvise or do anything else.
Yeah, but like basically like last year, I thought we had all the momentum. Like when we were playing the Cowboys, we had a good drive. Everything like today we had the fumble.
Oh yeah,
on the first play.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
And
it's the same thing. Yeah.
that
we can't
block
like
field goal is gonna.
It
Yeah.
was very similar.
Yeah.
Very similar.
That block field goal has.
Yeah, no, I at least wanted to see a Malik Neighbors touchdown today.
The one thing
Same.
that also
We'll
led to
see
that,
one eventually.
there was
Yeah,
an
hopefully
Andrew
next
Thomas
week.
holding call on
We'll
like a.
definitely see one next week.
Yeah, hopefully from like Tommy DeVito.
I'm looking forward to
No, we
Malik
did not
Neighbors
want
versus
DeVito.
Emmanuel Forbes.
We want Drew Lock.
No, just keeping Daniel Jones. Putting one of them in is not gonna make
Give
this.
him one more chance. If he
Look, Tyrod maybe could, but we had to let him go.
Yeah, I missed
If we're-
Tyrod.
if we're even losing by one at halftime, if we're even losing by if we're losing by at least a touchdown, I would put in DeVito because we can't be losing to the Commanders. I'm just like we usually own them. I mean, we lost them once in 21, but like that's it.
Yeah.
honestly.
Well, we'll
Giants.
move to the next question. We're kind of talking about it right now, but we'll move to it.
And we'll make it quick. How many wins?
I feel like tops we're getting like 4 to 5 wins.
Yeah.
I predicted before we would go 7-10. Now, I will put us at least at 6-11.
Yeah, I don't see us.
I said we would go
Mhm.
9-8 or 10-7. Now, I think our ceiling is still 9-8. Our
Yeah.
floor,
I have
our
confidence.
floor. Honestly, our ceiling is still 9-8. I think our floor is
4 wins.
5-12.
Yeah.
I don't understand how people think that we could actually go 0-17.
We
Yeah.
are not going
Yeah.
0-17.
No,
No.
Yeah, we're not going 0-17.
we are not bad enough to go 0-17.
Yeah, but just because
Panthers,
we had a
maybe.
bad first game doesn't mean that the
He
rest of
can't
our season is
change,
ruined.
and
I'm gonna come back. Can you guys let me in when I'm backstage?
Yeah.
and I know our play calling hopefully will change. So
Yeah, because like last year, we had that terrible first game against the Cowboys, and then the terrible first half against the Cardinals. But we ended up beating the Cardinals in the second half, coming back, and we were 3 plays away from making the playoffs last year. We were
The
3
one
plays
thing-
away. Like
the one thing about last season, you guys watched that Seahawks game.
yeah,
That was Daniel Jones got sacked 11 times. He
Yeah.
threw one of the worst interceptions at the goal line.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that game
He did
really
it again today too.
last year.
He's really just not good in the red zone, Daniel Jones.
There's a guy, if you guys don't know, like Marshall Green, he's the guy that does chat sports for the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I watch
he
him.
he said it today. He said it many times this year. Daniel Jones, he is not an NFL quarterback. Based off of not even just the interceptions, but a ton of other things that's happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like the sacks, the throwing it to wrong people, like all of that.
Yeah, the interceptions, like
Even the interception in the end zone, that could have been avoided.
Yeah,
forced
and
it.
again, like that was just another like first read that just wasn't open, and he forced it, and it was another pick.
That could have been a touchdown.
Stop forcing all these.
Yes, exactly.
It's just like
Yeah, that's what reading the defense is. You can't just force it to someone who isn't open. You have to read the defense, look where there might be a hole, or look where there might like know the routes and read the defense and look and throw it to where your receiver can get it, or where you see there might be an opening. Like he has to read the defense. He can't just rely on that first read or like just the strict game plan like that.
Yeah, it's pretty annoying how all that stuff happens. I think like he really has to figure out like obviously he knows the routes and
Hello.
stuff like that, but he needs to figure out like who is open.
Yeah.
Like he needs to like say to himself, I don't know what's going on in his head. Once the ball is snapped, he doesn't know what he's doing. Everybody knows it. People saw it in the Texans game. People saw it in the Seahawks game last year.
Yeah, the Seahawks game. I was in Colorado for that, and I was that happy.
Yeah.
And
But these are changeable things. Like these can be changed in a season.
And also, I was so excited for the game today. I thought we were gonna win our season opener. I had a party for it.
Yeah, I thought
I had a party over. I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
I could not spend any more excitement
and go to bed. I'll have to go to bed because I got school in the morning. And I'm not trying to screw up my sleep schedule.
Me too. But I always wake up early. I couldn't go to bed at my first.
Plus, I can't really talk that much about Colorado because I myself I'm a Penn State fan.
Yeah. So. I think for Colorado, for anyone who wants to stick around for that, I think it'll mostly be me and Calvin.
I got like one more thing to add on to what we're saying. It's a little different. But
what was the question? Or whatever you want.
Do this as a weekly thing.
Yeah, I'll post game after again.
Yeah,
but
also,
it's gonna be. I'm gonna do like post game videos or.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, like if we're not gonna use Jalen Hyatt, he deserves better. And let's just trade him.
Yeah, we need.
I still feel like we should trade Darius Slayton and throw in like a couple of draft picks, and we could probably get a good corner.
I really wanted Josh Jacobs, but he said he didn't want to live that New York lifestyle, and I also wanted Tony Pollard.
Yeah.
You know what Josh Jacobs is called?
What?
Pussy. What? That's what he's called.
Yep.
And they're in New Jersey, not even New York. And I also
would probably want to live in New York City.
That's what sucks about being in New York. You have all of the
like the Knicks. Like nobody wants to be on the Knicks because like the fans.
No, well, I'm sure a good amount of people do.
Like if you don't do good, everybody's gonna get mad at you.
Yeah.
The whole fans are gonna boo you. Like.
Yeah.
Sack up.
You have just a ton of hype to live up to for some.
Yeah, and another thing that I just been like noticing about Daniel Jones is like, if we like when we drafted Malik, or if we bring in new receivers or running backs, like they're not gonna be as excited to play for our team because they know that they're playing for Daniel Jones.
Oh my!
And he's not like he's not like one of those guys that you just like can connect with, and he doesn't. I feel like he doesn't relate to his teammates like Stroud or like Anthony Richardson or like some of those guys that are just more like connected to the players, and they have like similar personalities. But Daniel Jones is just sort of like it's always awkward when you see him interacting with Malik Neighbors or any of his receivers because they're kind of like different. Like as far as personalities, like and that's definitely a factor.
That's
we really drafted Daniel Jones over Josh Allen.
Yeah, I know.
No, but that was a surprise.
No, Daniel Jones was in the 2019 draft.
Yeah. Josh Allen was 2018.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we could have gotten Josh Allen over Barkley. To be honest, I would take that. If Barkley stayed on the Giants and he played how he played on Friday, then I would take Barkley.
Yeah.
Also, like Jones was an expected 4th round pick, so it was like a do or die situation right there.
Yeah, we kind of just threw up a prayer, and
Yeah.
I hoped he'd be good.
And another
But I
thing.
thought he was really good when as soon as I saw that Buccaneers game.
Oh yeah.
I saw them miss the field goal, and I really thought they were going to make it, and we were going
We
to.
really took Kadarius Toney over.
Oh my gosh, that game against Dallas.
Yeah, we took. Didn't we take Kadarius Toney over Justin Jefferson?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
we did.
Tony was
No,
in
we
the
didn't.
21
Kadarius Toney
Did
was
we?
drafted the
No,
next year.
Jefferson was in the 2020 draft. We drafted Andrew Thomas that year.
We took
Right.
Andrew Thomas over Chase Young. I'd take that. I'd take Andrew Thomas over Chase
Andrew
Young.
Yeah,
Thomas
let's
is a very good lineman.
Who did we
Yeah.
take? Who did
If
we
we
take
didn't
over
draft
Justin
Daniel
Herbert?
Jones, if we stuck with Eli,
Andrew
Andrew
Thomas.
if we stuck with
It makes
Manning
sense.
for
But
1
we
year,
needed
Well, now.
at the time we needed Andrew Thomas. We were
yeah, but
not
if we
gonna
stuck
take.
with Man,
A
if we stuck with
quarterback
Manning
right
for 1 more
after.
year,
It made sense.
Yeah, we were not gonna take a quarterback right after Jones was drafted.
if we didn't take Jones, we could have gotten Herbert, Burrow,
Yeah.
Tua.
No,
Actually no, I don't want Tua.
Yeah, there's a lot of that in the draft because you just don't know. Like,
Tagovailoa.
Jets took Zach Wilson and Sam Darnold over,
I think
it was
Andrew
like
Thomas
Mahomes
over
or
Tua. So I'm actually
Josh Allen. So there's
Like
a
I
lot
have a
of that.
question. Who would be a good quarterback to draft like in this upcoming year's draft?
Jalen Milrow,
I'm not sure.
Quinn
Just have
Ewers.
to wait it out. Just
Yeah,
wait.
we'll see. I think.
Yeah,
All
we'll
right.
see how they
I
play.
really want
Alright.
Sam.
I'm gonna leave you guys for tonight.
Yeah. But one
Deion-
last
De-
thing. Just go back to that Daniel Jones pick six and pause right as he throws the ball. You just need to see how much Vikings players were about to get to Wandell. That was easily one of the worst throws or plays of the whole day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a terrible read.
Dallas Turner was about to come up and blast him right as he would have caught it. And if he would have missed the tackle, already 3 more Vikings were already about to come after him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like it's not even but he's not scared to run it, take a run and
He's
get
not.
scared to get hit by the DNs when they're blitzing.
Yeah, so maybe
Yeah,
instead he
exactly.
could have just pump faked and ran for himself or something like that. Like that's just the improvising. He's robotic. That's the play, and he runs in, and that's all he does.
But
He
yeah,
doesn't look for anything else.
I'm just sad that this is how we start our 100th season.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
we have so much potential. It's just sad. We're not playing up to it.
Yeah.
What else?
Disappointing.
It is pretty sad that we have to start a season like that. And I think Dable realizes it. You can always tell how disappointed Dable is in his press conferences.
He's a good coach.
He is a good coach, but we need to figure out how to, and we'll leave it on this. We need to figure out how to get the deep ball in his hands.
He cares a lot about the team for sure.
He
You
does.
could tell.
Yeah.
He
And
loves.
so does Joe Shane, and so does John Mara.
Yeah, they care a lot.
Yeah, and I think an important thing as a coach is, like I said about Daniel Jones, likability, and your relationship with all the players. And I think Dable is good in that aspect. He seems to know everyone, and he's a likable guy, and he's close with all the players. So I think he's good there, and he's set to be a really good coach for us. We just have to. I don't know. We just have to play more aggressive and game plan better for teams that have big threats like Justin Jefferson and guys like that. We can't slack off and have gaping holes in our secondary like we did today.
Yeah. Also, we had so many chances today to get on the board and make it close, but we can't do anything. And also on defense, half the times they were getting near the end zone was on big plays. They take big plays and the Giants just shut down immediately.
Yeah. Like our play recognition is pretty poor.
Yeah.
Like even right after or not final touchdown, the first touchdown of the game, I think you could kind of tell that the Giants were just like, okay, game over.
Oh yeah, to Aaron Jones. Yeah.
Like
you could also
right
tell,
after, like immediately after that touchdown, the team was not the same.
Yeah.
And I really hope they fix it.
My other friend is backstage. He said, yeah, he's asking if I can hear him. I said, you're probably backstage, so can he join? I think his name is Patrick. Yeah, he's a Bills fan. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. But we're gonna be switching over to college football soon.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Also, you could also tell after that field goal that our offense was just not going to do anything today.
Yeah, I had a feeling, like I had hope that we were gonna come back and win that game, and somehow pull it off.
Yeah, me too.
But
I even said to everyone at the party that I had today for the Giants game, I said, we're gonna come back and win. And even the kid in right now, Patrick, he made fun of me. He said, no, they're definitely not coming back.
well, the Bills ended up doing it. The Bills were down 17-0.
Did you guys see that game? Marv Harrison was wide open.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray did not throw to him.
I was doing split screen. I was doing red zone and
I have 4 games on at once.
But we barely even watched that much.
I would have watched only Giants game if I did not have friends over. Because they are all Bears fans and they do not just want to watch Giants.
Yeah, and I didn't want to watch anymore because I after the third quarter ended, I was like, no, I'm done.
I would think like the Cardinals have potential, but not to be mean to like that in this, but like Allen, her offense is not really that.
Yeah, the Bills' offense. I mean, Keon Coleman's not that bad, but like,
no actual way.
But let's be real. The Giants' uniforms are horrible.
I actually liked the
I like them
combo.
Yeah,
I mean
the
pants really just.
It's just the pants.
Yeah, the pants.
But the uniform combo on the field that they had today was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
It did not look bad. It did not look bad.
Yeah.
No, I could not say that to other people because I would. I mean, I tried to say that I thought they were good, and yeah, some people disagreed.
Yeah. Well, any last thoughts that you guys want to say before we switch off to college football?
If we did not beat Washington, then then this shit does not.
Serious changes need to be made.
Yeah.
Yep, serious changes. Yep. If we even tie with Washington, which we did in like last year,
we're not going to tie with them.
Yeah, but even if we do, serious changes need to be made. There's no way we're losing to Washington. And I had Terry McLaurin in fantasy, and he did terrible.
Honestly, I have another thought. College football now. Things are really bad because, as you see, Notre Dame just lost to a college I never heard of.
Yeah.
Northern Illinois.
That was insane. Northern Illinois.
Yeah, and also, Oregon just beat a what was it? Who did the Oregon beat?
Boise State.
Boise.
Yeah, just beat Boise State. It's just not like the rankings. Rankings should be different based on how teams are playing against. Like, I feel like they're not trying against these type of teams, and they're just seeing the outcome that happened.
Yeah, Oregon has a serious problem. Like, I mean, Boise State's running back is like on pace to win Heisman and go and rush for over like 3,000 yards.
Yeah,
and he has like 9 touchdowns in 2 games. So
I'm
he was
not
sort of
trying
carrying
to
their team.
Take
But
away
like still,
football, but earlier, NJ, you said that we should draft Travis Hunter and then draft Manning the year after, and I like that. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe next year we can just maybe not stick with Jones, but get like a decent QB from a team.
Oh, I have something to add on to what you're saying, Jay. Also, when Hunter elects for the draft, most likely the next upcoming NFL year, do you think like teams drafting him as a multi-position athlete or just as a receiver or corner?
I think he's probably a better receiver.
Yeah, he's a better.
Yeah, he is a better receiver.
I mean, do you think Shadur Sanders is gonna go far? Or?
Yeah, I think
but
so.
the Giants can't draft him because Dion's not letting that happen. I know.
Why?
I think that he'll go far. It doesn't matter what team drafts him.
Yeah, I think he could be like a possible first round pick, maybe like a late first round pick.
I'm thinking late first.
But did
late
anyone
first,
see
early
that
second.
Bama game last night?
What?
Did anyone see that Bama game last night?
No.
They were in the fourth quarter. They were up 14-13 against South Florida.
Damn.
Yeah,
I'll check right now.
I was looking at the score for that game, and I had a feeling it was going to be kind of close, and then they ended up kind of pulling away. But you have to remember, this is not a Nick Saban-led team anymore, even though he is still kind of involved.
The Boris yeah.
But like, there's been a lot of upsets, like a lot of college upsets for like teams I never even heard of.
Yeah, I mean,
the Penn State game yesterday.
That I really thought that was going to be enough.
Boston College is ranked now. They're ranked 24th.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really sad about the Arkansas and Oklahoma State game. Arkansas had so many chances in that game to win, and they just blew it so many times.
Yeah.
Do we go? Are we on TikTok right now? Should we go live on TikTok one of these days?
We're not on
TikTok. We're live on TikTok.
We are. Nice.
We're live on YouTube.
Or YouTube.
I feel like if we go on TikTok, we'll get too much backlash. Like,
if we were live on TikTok, we would probably get a lot of backlash. But
I get backlash for posting that. Like, the Cowboys were only good in the 90s.
Yeah, everyone takes things seriously on TikTok.
Yeah. You can't take it personally. Like, your haters are really just your fans. Like, they're watching your videos and commenting on your videos. They're really just your fans.
The only things I disagree with on TikTok that I take seriously is the guy that said "womp womp" to Kyrie Jackson. That's just like not cool.
That was.
Yeah.
Rico knows that guy. Yeah.
No, I think his name is
that guy.
Someone actually did that.
Green Bay Packers, go Pack, something like that.
Rico knows was a guy that was like making fun of Kyrie Jackson like the day after he died, and then deleted the video, tried to cover it up, and made a new video. He was such a jerk for that.
I feel like he's doing it for clout, deleting it, and then trying to cover it up.
Yeah, some people just have no filter.
Some people really do not.
Can you add Jack back? He accidentally.
I made a mistake when I was 9 or 10 years old. You know that game against the Cowboys? The one where Dak just in 2020.
Where Dak what?
Where Dak he did something to his leg and it was awful.
Yeah, Logan Ryan.
Yeah, I didn't know like
he was backstage. He accidentally left.
We're about to switch to like talking about Colorado anyway.
I think he's still
okay.
But
first, can I say something? Do you really think Dak Prescott deserves that big contract?
No.
Like it's like
he is not.
I feel like he's not worth that much.
He's not worth. Honestly, he's not worth a penny.
Yeah,
He's
like
not,
what has he done for the
You know,
Cowboys?
he's not
after
worth
Trey
a
Lance is
penny right now. What has
Like,
he done for
Yeah.
the Cowboys?
Michael Parsons instead of him.
but-
Micah Parsons should be worth more.
I
Yeah,
know.
he's one of the best defensive players in the
Like
NFL.
top 5.
But also,
I think I
don't
had
know why
so
there
much
was
faith
rumors
in Trey
circulating,
Lance.
like Dak going to the Giants or something. Like I was,
That's never happening.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's not there.
never
I mean,
happened.
Dak
There was
today-
a rumor, but I didn't believe it.
Dak
Yeah.
today, 19 for 32, 170 yards and a touchdown. I mean,
Yeah, I'm
is that
sorry,
really that
Dak.
impressive?
Any Cowboys fans that are watching, Dak did not deserve that contract.
I mean, he's
Honestly,
such-
I don't think he deserved to be paid at
Oh,
all.
fumbled
If
as well.
anything, pay him a penny.
No,
That's all
he's
he
a great
deserved,
guy
really.
though. He does.
I mean, yeah,
He does-
he's for sure better than Daniel Jones. just.
He's better
I
than
mean-
Jones.
I mean,
he's a great guy off the
Deserve
field.
his
though.
contract.
Off the field, he's a great guy.
Off the field, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
But on the field, like, besides from the
I hate him.
season,
But Giants made the biggest mistake not signing Saquon, signing Daniel.
No, running backs come and
every
go.
team does. Every
Yeah.
team makes
A lot
mistakes.
of
That's part of the game.
Yeah, but running backs come and go. Like Tiki Barber played for like 6 years. Like,
And Tiki Barber was good. Really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Especially
After-
Brandon Jacobs.
After a while, you want more fresh legs, like young, fresh legs.
Yeah.
yeah, like maybe next year we could draft a running back. I just don't know.
Yeah, like there were a ton of running back changes
Like,
this offseason.
our number one running back is Singletary. Like, he's getting old.
He's
Yeah.
not
It's not like he's
awful.
getting old.
He's not an awful running back.
He's
It's kinda like-
26.
He's like, I feel like he's not really made for the one spot. I feel like he's more made for like a dual, like a Jameer Gibbs, David Montgomery type of gameplay.
Yeah, like he wasn't really that good on the Bills, and then he had a decent season last year on the Texans.
Yeah, I hope
So
Eric.
we're just sort of like hoping that
I
he'll
think
play like
we
he did on the
we
Texans.
had him as like a first year replacement. I think Tyron Tracy or Eric Gray will probably take his spot in the next year or two.
Yeah, like depending on how he plays.
I really wanted Tony Pollard. It's just I don't know. I really liked him. I always knew he was good. And you know who I had faith in? I had faith in Trey Lance. After that rookie year, I thought he was gonna play good.
The Giants
Got hurt.
the Giants should try and make a trade for Trey Lance. If they were able to if they were able to trade Jordan Phillips for a 6th round pick, trade for Trey Lance. You will
Yeah.
get Trey Lance for nothing.
I
Yeah,
know,
for like
Do you see how bad Trey Lance played in the preseason? He played
he
Yeah.
horrible.
he threw 5 picks.
He played horrible.
Another thing.
Get
we're-
trade. Honestly, this is what I would do. Trade because he's under contract, trade Drew Lock, and if they have it multiple 7th round picks, trade one of them to the Cowboys and
Yes, Trey Lance. That's a great.
get Trey Lance.
That's,
And another thing, why the hell aren't we using Eric Gray?
I know.
He is a good running back, 2 carries. He showed it in that preseason game.
Yeah, I
He
think
is a good running back. We need to use him.
So the problem is, it is preseason game too, but also
Yes. Yeah, you're right, but
when they're practicing, I definitely think he could get bumped up. Like also practice counts too.
we
yeah.
need a good amount more carries from him. Or at least give him some.
Yeah, he improved a lot from last year.
Definitely.
I think as a final thought, we can't be overreacting because it is just
Yep.
1 week.
It's
But-
yeah,
it was bad.
everybody's
But
There's
Anybody else
definitely
think-
some stuff we got to improve on. We talked about it. Anyone who's watching who just joined, just go back in the live and look at what we talked about. We talked about the offense, the defense, a bit of the special teams,
yeah, and
kind of the whole team. But overall, there's stuff
All right,
always
guys, I'm
to
gonna
learn
wrap
from.
it up.
and
I'm
we
gonna go.
will
Okay.
See ya.
See
and
ya.
I think TikTok's overreacting, saying that the
Yeah.
Giants would go 0-17. And I see your TikToks. I like them, and people just hate for no reason.
I know it's horrible. Like some people are just so like mean
It
just because
sucks.
they're a different
kind
they're
of-
fan of their team.
That's kind of what happens when you have over like 20,000 followers.
How much do you have? Like
Unfortunately,
23K?
26, I think.
something like that.
I'm
I don't
still
know.
very excited for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I am.
I
Me
could
too.
not be
I'm
more
excited
happy
too.
I hope.
You never
I'm
know
gonna be
what
honest. I
you
hope the
never know
Bills
what
get
could
their
happen.
revenge.
Look, we may
hope,
not be too great, but still.
Yeah.
I hope.
feel
I
like
hope.
the Giants might end up mid. This.
You never know what could happen.
And we're
I'll
not
end.
known for like winning our first
You
game.
know,
Yeah.
we were
Our
like
first
2
game, it's just can't overreact too much.
This definitely isn't gonna happen. But in 2011 or 2007, I forgot, we were supposed to be a terrible team. We were 2-5 by midseason, and we came back. We were 9-7, and I think we beat the Patriots right in the Super Bowl.
No, we started
That was
really good that year, I think.
No, that was the other year. We were supposed to suck. We were like terrible midseason.
they went to the wild card and they won like all 3 games.
Yeah, they beat the Packers. Or no, maybe that was the other season. But all I know is that the 9-7 Giants beat the
Yeah,
Patriots.
I'll end off the Giants segment with this statement right here.
Yeah.
The 2007 Giants started 0-2 and won Super Bowl XLII. Super Bowl 42.
And think about this year. Eli Manning was playing not too good at that time. He never proved to be really that good of a quarterback. But
All
yeah,
right,
we
guys,
still
good to head out.
rebounced and
He
won
left.
some big games in that playoff.
I think I'm gonna wrap it up too. I'm really sorry. I have school tomorrow, and I don't want to be late because this is where high schools are looking at me.
It's fine.
I got it.
We're switching up to college football after this anyway.
Yeah. I could talk.
All right. I see you.
College.
Good night, guys.
All right.
See you.
Yeah.
See ya. But yeah, I guess just last thing about the Giants. The 2007 Giants started 0-2 and they beat the undefeated Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
If this doesn't show anything can happen, I don't know what does. So anything can happen. I know this team is completely different than that team. But I'm saying anything can happen. The Giants, they could still make the playoffs. They could definitely get 6, 7, maybe 8 wins. But you never know what can happen. That's the point of this thing.
And I hope next week we could be talking about maybe either being 1-1 or at least
by next week, hopefully we're 1-1.
Yeah, hopefully we can score a touchdown.
At least we can.
Yeah.
All right. Danny Dimes, are you staying on or?
I'll stay on for a few minutes. I watch a lot of college as well.
All right. Well, we're gonna start with the same question that we did with the Giants. Just hold on a second here.
Also, are you a Boston College fan at all since you went to the game yesterday?
Not really. I just live really close. And we were like, what the heck? So,
what's your team? Whoever.
Calvin.
Who is your team?
My college team?
It's Colorado.
Oh, it's Colorado.
It's Colorado. And then I also like Michigan State.
I'm going to the Michigan State BC game just for fun.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Wait, actually, I'm going to that game too. It's on the 21st, right?
Of what?
Of September.
Probably. I don't know exactly, but I'm going.
Yeah, same. I'm going too, bro. That's crazy.
Oh.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe
Well, I
we'll
got
see
to
each
bring
other.
my phone up anyway, so I gotta go.
yeah. See you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm going to the Michigan State game. So
Nice.
shoot, might see you there, man.
Yeah, maybe.
Crazy.
All right. Well, we'll go to the first question that we did with the Giants, and we'll make it quick because I gotta go to bed soon too. It's a school night.
Yeah, same.
But overall thoughts on Colorado? Not good.
Yeah,
Just say that, not good. They
yeah.
did. They look. I mean, it is college is completely different from the NFL,
Mm-hmm.
but the way that they played yesterday, up until maybe 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter when Jimmy Horn got that touchdown,
Yeah,
they couldn't execute. Offensive line, they looked like they didn't have an offensive line at all.
yeah,
It was awful.
yeah. They looked like the Giants today.
Yeah. Uh and then we saw another pick six, Shador.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Uh which I don't think that was Shador's fault.
yeah,
Like Danny Dimes, that was his fault.
yeah,
Shador, with that pick six, it wasn't his fault. Look, they were in at the 5 yard line, wherever they were. He had to get it out, and he knew where he was supposed to throw. And then I think the guy just jumped in front of him.
yeah. Like there was a lot of that in that game. Like I'm not saying it wasn't Colorado's fault, but like I know, and another example was one of Nebraska's touchdowns. It was just sort of a slant that Dylan Raiola threw to one of his receivers, just like a check down, and one of the Colorado corners jumped in front of it, and he had like both of his hands on the ball, and I thought for sure it was a pick, but it sort of like it bounced or slipped out of his hands, and it just landed right in the Nebraska receiver's hands, and he just ran into the end zone.
Yeah, that was
Like it's just stuff
when
like
I
that.
saw
Like
that play.
yeah,
I was my like face just dropped. I was
yeah,
like,
I know.
what happened?
I started celebrating because I was like, he just picked the ball, and then I look, and I see the receiver running into the end zone. I'm like, how did that happen? Like, it's just unlucky stuff that you can't control like that. Like, I mean, it's sort of that guy's fault. Like, it should have been a pick, but like, it's just there's some plays like that that are just solely like up to chance. Like, there's just some lucky plays. Like in the Vikings game today, when Darnold threw like a deep shot. I think it was like to Addison or Jefferson, and Adoree Jackson batted it down, and he was going up for the ball, and the receiver like jumped on top of him, and the ref called pass interference on Adoree. It was like it wasn't pass interference at all, but what do you know? It's like a 50-yard game for the Vikings, and then they score the first touchdown of the game, and nothing we could do about it. It was just it was just unlucky. So there are going to be plays like that in every game where it's just like dumb things like that can lead to touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It honestly it felt like a glitch in like college football.
Yeah.
25.
Yeah.
If that play, the Nebraska touchdown, happened in college football 25, someone would have rage quit.
Yeah, exactly.
But I guess we'll move on to the next question, which is thoughts on Shiloh's injury. If you don't know what happened, Shiloh broke his shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
So I think he's out for the season with that. If not out for the season, he's at least out for like a month.
That's a big loss because
Yeah.
it was really just sort of him and Travis Hunter locking down the corner position. Yeah.
We saw what happened when the other Sander brother, Shador, when he got hurt last year. They played terrible.
Yeah.
And they couldn't execute. Now, with the other brother, Shiloh, and I know Shador, I guess, is kind of the better out of the two. Not trying to point fingers, but
Yeah.
I think he is, like, I think this is kind of gonna, like, it's gonna be hard to win games without Shiloh.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard to win without any of your best players. Doesn't matter what sport it is.
Yeah, and we need all the players that we can to start, especially on defense.
Yeah,
Where that's our weakest spot.
we
can't,
need
like,
better.
Injuries are gonna kill us. Yeah.
Yeah, and we need better. Just O linemen in general.
Yeah.
Because yesterday, honestly, I think that yesterday was their worst game since 2022, and that's before Dion was the coach.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure.
We'll see. I guess that kind of leads us into our next question. I have to write it down, so hold on.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, their run defense is really, like, it needs to improve a lot too. Nebraska was able to run the ball really efficiently in that game too. Just their D line too is kind of weak. They really didn't get much pressure, and just the run defense could definitely improve. Just a lot of mostly, it's a defense in general, but that was just sort of like a big weak spot.
Yeah,
especially from that game.
And I think this is another weak spot here. How do the Buffs throw the ball to other receivers besides Horn and Hunter?
Yeah, exactly.
Because yesterday, I mean, we saw what happened. Jimmy Horn caught the touchdown late in the fourth quarter. Travis Hunter had some good receptions. He had like a 30-yard reception that put him close to field goal range, if not in field goal range, and then the kick got blocked.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was that drive or another drive, but he had a great play.
Mm-hmm.
He had a few great plays, but there was one where he had like a 30 or 40-yard gain. I just forget what drive it was.
Yeah.
Either way, they need to figure out how to get the ball to other receivers, or else like teams are going to know who they're going to throw the ball to. Everybody knows who Jimmy Horn is, and everyone knows who Travis Hunter is.
Exactly.
So,
yeah, like you can surprise a team by throwing it to other receivers, because I know that Colorado does have other receivers that have a ton of potential besides Travis Hunter and JC Horn. So if you can get the ball to different receivers who can make plays similar to how Jimmy Horn and Travis Hunter do, then it'll definitely help them win games, because teams and like secondaries are definitely just going to game plan and focus on those two wide receivers because they know that they're the main targets. So if you can like catch them like lacking and maybe hit receiver that doesn't get many targets in a game because they're not like covering him tight, then you can definitely get some like unexpected like big plays, and you can sort of like you can surprise teams, and it'll definitely help their offense flow better and make it feel like you don't just have to pass it to Travis Hunter or Jimmy Horn. So yeah, I feel like if they're able to do that, it'll expand the offense a little bit and it'll catch teams off guard.
Yeah. I think like if they especially throw it to Wester, who is new, even if they get their running back involved in the passing game, I forget what his name is. He's new because they don't have Dylan Edwards anymore. They have a guy who came from Ohio State, which was And Ohio State is a big run-heavy team.
Yeah.
If they get him involved in the passing game, I don't think they'll throw it deep to him. But if they get him involved in the passing game even a little bit, I think they can do some good stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
But Wester needs to get involved.
Yeah.
They'll keep getting Horn and Hunter involved, obviously.
Yeah.
And then I think Shador, because he can do it, not just when he is like under pressure, run.
Yeah.
Make some design runs for him, or fake a throw and just run. I think Shador just really needs to focus on that.
Yeah, if Shador can just like pump fake a deep shot to Travis Hunter, that's gonna catch teams off guard as well. Like
that's gonna really
everyone's gonna start everyone's gonna look over and run over to Travis Hunter because they know that Shador's looking for Hunter almost every play. So if he's able to maybe give a little pump fake to Travis Hunter, he's gonna throw deep, and then he'll stun secondaries and he'll be able to run for good yards. So that could definitely be maybe a change in game plan going forward, because they're the offense is just, it's looking kind of stale and rusty. So you just need to add some oil to the machine to get it running smoothly. You just sort of have to expand the offense, because it's definitely looking dry right now. We have to do something to give it life, I know it can have, and it's they also rely a lot on their offense too. If Colorado isn't scoring 30 a game, then it's not likely they'll win, just because their defense is so weak, and they let up a lot of points per game. So
yeah, and you're kind of heading into the next question, which is Deion, Coach Prime, is he overhyped?
Yeah.
Last year they went 4-8. The year before that, when they didn't have Coach Prime, they went 1-10, I believe.
Yeah.
I went to a game in 2021. I was in 7th grade. This was, I think, a year before Deion got hired, and they lost to Minnesota 30-0. If Deion was the coach in that game, they probably still would have lost, but it wouldn't have been 30-0. It would probably be a 20-17 game. But
they would have put up a fight.
Yeah, but based off of these two games, they gotta play better. Almost losing to NDSU and losing to Nebraska badly. I don't care how good Nebraska is, and I don't care how bad. Well, North Dakota State isn't bad, but if you barely beat a team that's not even in the same, I don't even know what you call it, division or whatever.
Yeah, they're not in the FBS.
They're in the FCS or
whatever. The FCS. They're an FCS school.
But if you beat them by 1 touchdown and lose to Nebraska by 3 or 4, whatever it was, bad things are gonna happen.
Yeah.
And Deion does the same thing that he always does. Yesterday he did the "Do you believe?" to every player.
Yeah, I did
tried to hype them up, and it obviously hypes them up. It hypes me up.
Yeah.
But there has to be more pieces to the puzzle that are added. It can't just be Deion saying, "Do you believe?" and they automatically believe.
Yeah.
Although that can happen, there needs to be good play calling. Former Giants head coach Pat Shurmur is the offensive coordinator. Sometimes I don't know if he's calling the right plays.
Yeah.
There just needs to be some changes, I think.
Yeah. Like maybe just better game planning. Changes on offense. You can't just rely on being Dion and hyping up your players before the game. That's I'm not saying that's not a factor. That's definitely part of the game, but you can't just rely on that to win games. You just have to game plan and get your players ready and scout the other team, have an idea of what they do, who they target, and game plan for that, which I feel like they could definitely do better, especially with like Dylan Raiola and and Nebraska's running back. Just be aware of threats and who the other team is going to target. So yeah, just better game planning and just practicing what they need to and practicing on their practicing and trying to get what they're weak at better, especially with their defense and especially with their O-line. It doesn't seem like they've improved much, like at all, from last year because they're having the same struggles. Their defense was weak last year and their O-line was weak last year, and it's sort of the same thing this year.
Yeah.
Which shouldn't be happening. So you just have to make changes like that, and you have to practice hard and practice, push the alignment and push the defense, and push like all your players to improve and get better from last year. Every year.
Yeah.
Because this is Dion's window to recruit really good high school players and get a lot of big names to go to Colorado. Especially now that Travis Hunter and Shador and Shiloh are all playing on the same team. A lot of high school players are going to want to play with them. And like you said in one of your videos, like the atmosphere with Colorado and playing for Colorado, it's not like any other school. So this is sort of his window of opportunity to have a good recruiting class and build up a good team that can be a championship contender or a playoff contender.
Yeah.
So he needs to work harder on making that a reality and pushing his players to be better and fixing his weaknesses, especially now.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
All right. Last question here for the video. And it is like we play Colorado State next week.
Mm-hmm.
Predictions, thoughts, concerns?
Yeah, it's a rivalry game, and it got pretty chippy last
year. It shouldn't have gone to overtime.
Exactly.
It was a great game. It was a great game.
Yeah,
but it never should have gone the way that it did.
Yeah, it would never.
Especially knowing that Lil Wayne was in the locker room, The Rock was in the locker room before the game, Dion's mom was in the locker room, and that's why this is a rivalry.
Yeah.
Because of his mom.
Yeah.
But I think Colorado will win. Hopefully it's not a close game. They should be able to win this game 30-0, honestly.
Yeah, and it's not like Colorado State has impressed me either. Like, I mean, I know they played Texas and they were obviously never going to win that game, but like if they were really like a big threat, they probably would have put a couple points up on the board and they wouldn't have lost by that much. So I really don't think that they're great this year, and I think if Colorado can just stay disciplined, have a game plan, fix their issues from these past 2 weeks, they can definitely win and possibly blow them out.
Hopefully.
They just have to lock in and stop playing like it's like recess football. They have to have a game plan and be more disciplined. And if they do that and they execute it well, they can definitely just blow the doors off Colorado. So
yeah, they'll be they'll beat Colorado State. There's no debate.
Yeah,
There's
Colorado.
no
State.
debate.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
just
they have
I
the
just-
ability to not make it a close game and just blow them out.
that's the thing. Yeah, you just need to make sure. It's a rivalry for a reason. It's gonna be close.
Yeah.
Like, you never know what's gonna happen. But I think they should win easily.
Yeah. Like they're gonna be motivated and they're gonna want to win. They're gonna want to get revenge. But,
both teams are gonna want to get revenge.
Yes, exactly. So
yeah,
but I just feel like Colorado just has the talent and the potential, and if they, like I said, if they stay disciplined and they use that to the best of their ability, then they definitely have the ability to just blow out Colorado State.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna do it for today. We'll be back every Sunday talking about Colorado or the Giants, depending on what happened that week. Next week, just as a reminder, Colorado plays Colorado State. The New York Giants play the Washington Commanders. Hopefully, both teams come out with a W, and we'll see you guys next week. Go Giants.
Go Giants.
See you guys.